Port Charles has never been a town that lets its secrets stay buried for long, but the ones circling Nina Reeves and her daughter Willow Tate are darker, more explosive, and more emotionally devastating than anything the canvas has seen in years. What began as whispers about an unsolved shooting is now snowballing into a full-blown nightmare, one that threatens to tear apart families, expose long-hidden betrayals, and force a mother and daughter into the kind of reckoning neither may survive unchanged. Because the truth is coming. And when it does, it won't just reveal who really pulled the trigger. It may finally force Willow to confess everything to the one person she's spent years lying to, Nina. For months, the shooting has hung over Port Charles like a storm cloud that never quite broke. Officially, the case was resolved. An arrest was made, statements were taken, and the town tried to move on. But soap fans know better. In General Hospital, unresolved glances, half-finished conversations, and characters who flinch when certain names are mentioned are all signs of one thing. The truth is still out there. And the truth is far more terrifying than anyone realizes. Recent scenes have shown Nina growing increasingly uneasy, haunted by flashes of memory she can't quite place. A sound, a smell, the echo of a gunshot in her dreams. She wakes in a cold sweat, heart racing, convinced that something about that day, the day of the shooting, doesn't add up. At first, she brushes it off as stress. Nina has been under constant emotional pressure. Her complicated relationship with Sonny, her strained bond with Willow, the lingering guilt over past mistakes. But then the clues start piling up. A file misplaced in the Metro Court office. A witness who suddenly remembers a detail they were told to forget. A shadowy figure watching Nina from across the street, disappearing the moment she turns. The message is clear. Someone doesn't want the real story to come out. The most chilling theory gaining traction in Port Charles is that the real shooter wasn't an outsider, a random criminal, or a faceless villain. It was someone Nina knows. Someone she trusts. Someone tied directly to Willow. And that's where the horror truly begins. Because all signs are pointing to a devastating possibility, Willow may know more about the shooting than she's ever admitted. Maybe she didn't pull the trigger herself, but what if she saw who did? What if she helped cover it up? What if she made a choice, in a moment of fear or desperation, that has been poisoning her relationship with her mother ever since? Viewers have noticed the subtle tells, Willow freezing when the shooting is mentioned. Her eyes darting away. The way she changes the subject whenever Nina gets too close to the truth. It's not just discomfort. It's guilt. And guilt, in Port Charles, always comes with a price. Willow Tate has spent her life trying to be the good one. The moral compass. The woman who does the right thing, even when it hurts. But what happens when the right thing is confessing to a crime that could destroy your family? Recent episodes have shown Willow unraveling. Her calm, controlled exterior is cracking. She's snapping at Michael. She's distracted around her children. She stares into space, lost in memories she wishes she could erase. The pressure is building toward an inevitable breaking point. Insiders tease that Willow is on the verge of a confession. Not in court, not to the police, but to the one person whose forgiveness she craves more than anyone's, Nina. Imagine the scene. Mother and daughter alone. The tension thick enough to cut with a knife. Nina, finally demanding answers about the past. Willow, trembling, tears in her eyes, whispering, "There's something I need to tell you, something about the shooting." And with those words, the emotional earthquake begins. Nina's worst fear, betrayal by her own child. Nina has already endured more heartbreak than most characters face in a lifetime. Stolen babies, lost years, manipulative lovers, and a daughter who grew up hating her. Just when she thought she and Willow were finally finding their way back to each other, this bombshell threatens to blow their fragile peace apart. If Willow admits she knew the real shooter, and kept silent, Nina will feel betrayed on a level that cuts deeper than any romantic deception. This isn't about business or rivalry. This is about a mother realizing her child looked her in the eye, day after day, and lied about something that could have cost lives. Worse still, what if the shooter was someone Nina once protected? Someone she defended? Someone she loved? The realization that she may have unknowingly shielded the person who nearly destroyed her life would be almost too much to bear. A confession of this magnitude won't stay between Nina and Willow for long. Secrets never do in Port Charles. Sonny, with his long memory and deep connections, will want the truth, and possibly revenge. If the shooter ties back to his world, he'll see it as a personal affront, a failure to protect his own. Michael will be torn in two directions, loyalty to his wife versus his belief in justice. If Willow hid the truth, how can he continue to trust her? How can he raise children with someone who kept such a dangerous secret? And the town itself will be forced to confront the fact that the past was built on lies. The official story of the shooting will crumble, replaced by a far more complicated, morally murky reality. Everything is building toward one inevitable moment, Willow finally telling Nina the truth. But in true General Hospital fashion, the question isn't just what she'll confess. It's when, and at what cost. Will the truth come out in a quiet, tearful conversation between mother and daughter? Or will it explode in a courtroom, a hospital hallway, or the middle of the metro court, with the entire town as witness? And perhaps most haunting of all, what if Willow hesitates just a second too long, and the real shooter strikes again to keep their secret buried forever? One way or another, the past is done waiting. The real shooter's identity is about to surface. Nina's worst nightmare is about to become reality, and Willow's long overdue confession may either heal their broken bond, or shatter it beyond repair.